Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Garoppolo now. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. They're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught at the 8. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gould now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. How did he stay on his feet? Pushing tacklers aside. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. As an athlete going a long way. Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt. Now here's Mumphrey. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again. And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone. You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful. Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They run it with McKinnon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground. Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he... And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again. Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. McKinnon. And he'll get this up to about the 40. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow. And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's McKinnon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
21.
Garoppolo again. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And a loose football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Now McKinnon. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And the backfield standing alone on 2nd and goal is McKinnon. They'll try and run with McKinnon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gold now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
On the counter, Elliott gets by in the now little daylight. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he gets it down to the 32. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On first down, Garoppolo. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Gold now out to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers. On the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And he'll make it across the 20. As his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Now let's go! Green, 39! Green!
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Again, it's Elliott. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always
Automatic
enjoy the
first down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
21, 21. 11, 11.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hey, come on, come on, come on.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Garoppolo, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away, offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield, and you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback.
But he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Now it's gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo's going to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime
right.
we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. That means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want. Not at all. Now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Taco Charlton in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Back to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He'll look to throw. This is caught. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with time running out. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Gold now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds.
He's got a man. Complete. The 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now here's Mumphrey. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Garoppolo to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
To throw is Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. One final try now for Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew